secret beneath the oldest monument on Earth. For more than 12,000 years, the world believed it had already solved the mystery of Göbekli Tepe, an ancient hill in southeastern Turkey. Massive stone pillars, strange animal carvings. Most historians agreed on one explanation. It was the world's oldest temple, built by early hunter-gatherers who had just begun to understand ritual and belief. And that explanation was enough. Until it wasn't. Because one discovery beneath the hill suggested something far more unsettling. Something that didn't belong to religion, ceremony, or symbolism. Something that looked like it was meant to be hidden. From a distance, Göbekli Tepe doesn't look impressive. Just a low hill of dry soil, loose stones, sparse vegetation. For decades, archaeologists walked past it without stopping. Natural formation, they thought, nothing worth digging. But there was one problem. The hill didn't behave like nature. The soil layers were uneven. The stones were stacked too deliberately, and some rocks near the surface had edges that were too smooth. In the early 1990s, a German archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt decided to take a closer look. What he noticed immediately changed everything. The stones beneath the soil. As digging began, the earth revealed massive limestone pillars. Not scattered, not random, they stood upright in perfect circles. Each pillar was shaped like a tall T. Each one weighed tens of tons, and every surface was covered in carvings. Foxes, snakes, vultures, wild boars. No writing, no human faces, only animals, alert, aggressive, watchful. Radiocarbon dating delivered the shock. The site was more than 11,000 years old, older than Stonehenge, older than the pyramids, older than agriculture itself. According to everything historians believed, humans at this time shouldn't have been capable of this kind of construction, and yet, here it was. Too advanced for its time. There were no homes nearby, no cooking pits, no signs of daily life. Göbekli Tepe wasn't a village, it was a destination. The pillars were carved with a level of precision that didn't match the tools found on site. Only simple stone tools existed. No metal, no wheels, no writing system. And still, the carvings were clean, sharp, and consistent. Even stranger, after each stone circle was completed, it was intentionally buried, filled with soil, broken tools, animal bones. Then another circle was built on top, again and again. Why would people invest massive effort into construction only to hide it? A pattern of sealing. As excavation continued, researchers noticed something disturbing. The burial wasn't careless, it was precise. Each enclosure was sealed the same way. Each layer showed deliberate planning. This wasn't abandonment, it was containment. That realization shifted the entire investigation. What if Göbekli Tepe wasn't built to honor something above ground, but to isolate something below it? Objects that didn't belong. Deeper layers revealed carved stone pieces and bone tools arranged with mathematical care. Symbols repeated across different areas. The same animals appeared in the same positions. This wasn't decoration, it was a system, and systems exist for a reason. Then came the discovery that forced researchers to reconsider everything. The stone tablets. Beneath a sealed limestone floor, archaeologists uncovered rows of thin stone tablets, laid side by side, uniform in size, hidden intentionally. When cleaned, faint carvings emerged. Some symbols had been scratched out. Human faces had their eyes removed. The tablets had been heated twice. Scans revealed markings beneath the surface, different from the carvings on top, almost like two messages, one meant to be seen,
one meant to stay hidden. When researchers mapped the tablet's positions, a pattern emerged. They pointed inward, toward the center of the hill. The hidden passage. Ground scans beneath the central ring revealed a hollow space, too smooth to be natural, too symmetrical to be accidental. Excavation exposed the top of a shaft carved directly into bedrock. Inside it, a spiraling staircase. Perfect angles, even steps, precision far beyond what early tools should allow. Halfway down, the staircase ended at a solid wall of mud brick. No cracks, no gaps. Tests showed traces of mercury inside the bricks. This wasn't a collapse, it was a warning. The sealed chamber. Breaking through the wall released a sudden rush of cold air. The chamber below was carved into solid rock. Smooth walls, no art, no symbols, functional, purpose-built. At the center of the floor, sensors detected vibrations. Beneath a raised stone slab, something unnatural waited. The vault. When the slab was removed, it revealed a square surface made of metal, not stone, metal, seamless, welded, covered with deep spiral carvings. Modern drilling tools barely scratched it. When the seal finally broke, the temperature dropped instantly. A camera was lowered inside. What it captured was horrifying. Evidence of containment. The chamber walls were coated with a mixture of bitumen, mercury, and minerals. Not preservation, isolation. Under ultraviolet light, dark shapes appeared. Human outlines, carbon and calcium fused into the metal. Bodies pressed against the walls by sealing. This wasn't a burial, it was an emergency. At the center stood a platform with burned resin and scorched bindings. Something had been restrained. Something dangerous. The final message. Symbols from the tablets, pillars, and chamber walls were analyzed together. They formed simple statements, not prayers, not worship, explanations. The builders described heat, pressure, an underground force they couldn't control. They didn't worship it, they trapped it. Many died doing so. The survivors sealed the vault, buried the hill, and left warnings behind. Göbekli Tepe wasn't the birth of religion, it was humanity's first attempt at containment. A warning across time. Today, the site remains closed beneath layers of earth and stone, but its message still echoes. Do not open what we closed. So the real question isn't what they buried, it's whether we should ever uncover it again. What modern science still can't explain. Even after years of study, modern science still struggles with one uncomfortable truth. Nothing found at Göbekli Tepe fits neatly into known timelines. The engineering is too advanced, the planning is too precise, and the intent feels deliberate. Computer models showed that the pillars weren't just decorative. Their placement altered sound vibrations inside the enclosures. Low-frequency tones echoed differently depending on where a person stood. Some scientists suggested the site may have amplified sound or pressure. Others noticed something even stranger. The carvings weren't random animals, they were predators, creatures that hunt, creatures that strike without warning, almost as if the builders were documenting danger. Why no human faces? One of the most puzzling details is what's missing: human faces. Across thousands of carvings, full human figures are almost completely absent. When they do appear, they're incomplete, headless, faceless, or damaged intentionally. Anthropologists believe this wasn't fear, it was respect or caution. As if showing the full human form was forbidden, as if the builders were saying, "We are not the center of this story." The climate connection. Ice core data from the same period revealed dramatic environmental instability. Sudden cooling events, extended droughts, mass animal migrations. Food sources collapsed. Communities that once lived separately were forced to gather. Göbekli Tepe may have been a meeting point, but not for celebration, for survival. Some researchers believe an underground reaction, gas, heat, pressure, may have surfaced during this chaotic climate shift, something the builders encountered accidentally, something they couldn't eliminate, only contain. Knowledge without writing. One haunting question remains unanswered. How did they coordinate all of this without writing? No clay tablets, no alphabet, no formal records. Yet every structure follows the same rules. This suggests oral knowledge passed with extreme precision, or knowledge inherited. Some